Hello everyone, welcome back to our channel. This is the third part of our 5-part series covering basics of technical analysis. In the first two parts, we discussed about candlesticks and support and resistance. In this part, we are going to add one more flavor to this, that is volume. So let's get started. Volume means number of shares traded during a period of time. Now you can see I have divided this screen into two parts. One is of candlesticks and the second part that is at the bottom you can see volume. Here you can see number of shares and this is the price chart. It's important to understand volume because it can help us in assessing the strength of demand or supply on a candle. It's important to note that both candlestick and volume are to be read together to understand or to make an assessment of strength or weakness of a particular price movement. So we will look at few rules of volume to understand how to read candlestick chart along with volume. So now let us look at couple of rules. The first two rules states that increasing price with increasing volume represents buyers or demand interest, and increasing price with decreasing volume represents lack of buyers or lack of demand interest. In the same manner, decreasing price with increasing volume represents seller's interest, and decreasing price with decreasing volume represents lack of seller's interest. Before we go ahead, let's look at 2 points. Volume is effort taken, and the price action which you see on a candlestick is the result of that effort taken. Take note of these 2 points. So let me open the chart shared. Volume is again effort taken and price action, that is candlestick which is formed, is the result of that effort taken. So each volume bar which you see here is effort taken by buyers and sellers to push the prices higher or lower as the case may be. Now let's take into consideration the first two rules. You can see here that when price is within a range, you can see volume are lower on average basis or on general basis. However, when price starts increasing, you can see pickup in volume bars too. This means that this price increase, that is increasing price, along with increasing volume, this is representing buyer's interest or demand interest. I hope this concept is clear. Now, let us look at additional rules of volume. We have already discussed these two rules. Now, we are going to discuss these two rules also, that is the third and fourth rule. What I will recommend right now is to take screenshot of these rules for easy reference in future. So we will take into consideration all these four rules and try and determine whether buyers or demand interest is present or whether supply interest is present. The third and fourth rule are basically with respect to spread or range of a candle, along with whether there is harmony or contradiction in effort and result. Before we go ahead, let us first look at what is range or spread of a candle. So the range is distance between high of a candle to low of a candle. Now let's see what is wide range and narrow range candle. We are going to compare whether the range of candle is wider or narrower on the basis of this candle. So if I plot this candle, this would become wide range candle when I compare it with this candle. In the same manner, if I plot this candle, this will become narrow range or narrow spread candle when I compare it with this candle. So let us try and identify whether there is harmony in effort and result or contradiction in effort and result. So I've taken screenshot of this talk. This is candlestick and this is volume. Now look at this marked candle and look at the volume. You can see that volume has increased, that is effort has increased, and the corresponding result or the corresponding price action has also increased. So how to identify this? Just look at previous few candles and look at the volumes. Here you can see range expansion along with volume expansion, and therefore we have marked this as harmony in effort and result. In the same manner, you can also look at this candle and this volume. Just take a look at how the previous candles are formed and how this candle is formed along with volume. Again, you can see range expansion and volume expansion. That is, effort has increased and so has the corresponding result, that is price action. Now let us look at contradiction. This is the same chart, and now look at the marked candle. You can see that range has contracted while the volume has increased. That is, range, that is distance between high to low, is less than the previous candle. However, the volume on this candle is greater than the previous candle. So this means that buyers had taken lot of effort to push the prices higher. However, there was strong supply or sellers present at higher end. Therefore, they disallowed buyers or price to go above a particular level. So even if lot of effort was taken to push the prices higher, because of strong supply, the price was unable to increase further. So now let us combine all the 4 rules mentioned earlier. So now let us look at an example. In the first rule, we discussed that when price is increasing and volume is increasing, it represents buyer's interest or demand interest. Now we will also add spread or range to it. In this example, you can see that range of the candle is also increasing and volume is also increasing. This means that effort is increasing and so is the result. So this denotes harmony in effort and result. And it also means that there is strong buying pressure or demand pressure in this price action. Now let us look at this second example. You can see here that price is increasing, however, volume is decreasing. According to first rule, this means that there is lack of buyer's interest or lack of demand interest. Now let us add the 2 rules or the rule regarding to spread or range of a candle. Here you can see that the range of candle is decreasing and volume is also decreasing. That is, effort is decreasing and so is the result. So in this case, even if this is harmony in effort and result, we have to take note that buyer's interest or demand interest is decreasing over a period of time. Now let us look at these examples on a chart. This is a candlestick chart and this is the volume chart. Here you can see that price is increasing and volume is increasing. Now also look at the range of the candles. You can see that the range of the candle is also increasing. Therefore, it means that there is strong buying interest or demand interest in this price action. Now look at this chart. Look at the marked candles. Here you can see that price is increasing. However, volume is decreasing. It means that there is lack of buyer's interest. In this case, you can also see that the range of the candle is or spread of the candle is also decreasing. So even though this means that there is harmony in effort and result, we can make an assessment that buying interest or demand interest is decreasing. In the same manner, let's look at what happens when prices fall. So in this case, you can see that price is decreasing and volume is increasing. This denotes that selling pressure is higher. Now check the range of the candles. The range of the candle is also increasing. This means that there is harmony in effort and result, and there is strong selling pressure or supply pressure when prices are falling. In the second example, you can see that price is decreasing and volume is also decreasing. This means that there is lack of selling pressure or lack of supply pressure. Now also add spread or range parameter to this. You can see that the range or spread of the candle is also decreasing. That is, effort taken to push the prices down has decreased, and so has the result for that effort taken. This means that there is lack of selling interest at the lower prices. Now let's look at this on a chart. You can see here that price is decreasing and volume is increasing, representing seller's interest. Now we will also add this range parameter to it. You can see that range of the candles are increasing and so is the effort. This means that there is strong selling pressure or supply pressure when prices are falling. Now let's look at the second example. You can see here that price is decreasing and so is the volume. You can also see that range of the candles are also decreasing or diminishing. This means that there is lack of seller's interest at lower prices. I hope this concept relating to harmony is clear. Now, let us understand what is contradiction in effort and result. Let's look at this example. You can see that price is increasing, but volume is decreasing. What this means is that there is lack of buying interest or demand interest. However, now if you look at the range of the candle, you can see that range of candle is increasing. This means that this corresponding result is not supported by the effort taken by market participants. This means that there is a high probability that this price increase may not be sustainable now. Now let us look at this second example. You can see that price is increasing and volume is increasing. Now according to first rule, this means that there is buyer's interest. But let us discuss what happens when we add the other two rules of spread or range of the candle. Now, if we take into consideration only first rule, that is increasing price and increasing volume, representing buyer's interest, this would mean that demand pressure is stronger than supply pressure. However, let's see what happens when we add spread or range dynamics to this. Here, you can see that the range of candles is decreasing, but the effort is increasing. So it means that even if buyers are trying to push the prices higher, there is a strong supply which are not allowing price to increase further. So this means again that due to presence of strong supply, there is a high probability that this price increase may not be sustainable. So let's look at examples of this. So look at the marked candle. You can see here that price is increasing, but volume is deteriorating. This means that there is lack of buyer's interest in this case. Now also add the range parameters to this. You can see the range of the candle has increased, but volume has decreased. That is, this corresponding result does not match with the effort taken. Now this gives you initial signs that the further move or further price increase may not be sustainable. Look at this second marked candle. Again, you can see range expansion, but volume contraction. This means again that the effort taken does not correspond to the result. Now let's look at this example. Look at these two marked candles. You can see that price has increased and volume has increased. However, when you check range of the candle, the range of this candle has decreased as compared to the range of this candle. This means that even though buyers tried to push the prices higher, due to strong presence of supply, they were unable to push it further higher. I hope this concept is clear. Now let's look at what happens when prices are falling. Look at this example. Here, the second rule says that falling prices and decreasing volume represents lack of seller's interest. Now also add the range parameters to this. You can see that range has increased, but volume has decreased. Therefore, there is contradiction in effort and result. Also, you have to take note that this price move, even though you see a strong supply candle, this price move may not be sustainable. Now let us look at the second example. What you can see is that price is decreasing, but volume is increasing. Now, according to second rule, decreasing price with increasing volume, this represents seller's interest. However, if we add spread parameter to this, our opinion changes, because you can see that the range of these candles is decreasing. So the effort taken does not match with the result. This would mean that sellers tried to push the prices downward. However, there was strong presence of demand at lower prices, which disallowed prices to fall further. So therefore, even though effort was increasing, you cannot see the corresponding result in the price action. This means again that this falling prices or this move may not be sustainable in future. So let us look at examples of this on a chart. Look at these two candles. You can see price is decreasing, but volume is also decreasing. This means that there is lack of seller's interest. Now, even if you see a strong supply candle here, you can see that this result does not match with the effort taken. Now look at this marked candles. You can see price has decreased and volume has increased. Now, even though this represents seller's interest, look at the range or spread of the candle. The range or spread has decreased if we compare this candle and this candle. This means that there is presence of demand at lower prices, which disallowed sellers to push the prices lower. And therefore, we can call this as contradiction in effort and result. I hope these concepts are clear. Now, I have given the price and volume relationship here. You can take screenshot of this table so that you can refer it in future. At this point of time, I want to emphasize that understanding volume and price relationship in isolation is little bit difficult, and you need context to make sense of this. That is, to make an assessment that whether the overall demand or the overall supply is stronger than the other. We will discuss context, that is trend, in the next video. I also want to highlight that in first three parts, I have not discussed anything with respect to entries or exits. I have only discussed important terms or concepts in isolation. We will incorporate all the concepts in the fifth part to arrive at a trading decision. Now finally, this is the quiz. Let's assume that there are two companies, ABC Limited and XYZ Limited. A hammer candle is formed in both these stocks. Further, this candle is formed at support zone. I have also plotted volume chart below this main chart. Based on what we have discussed till now, which stock would you look to buy? Let me know in the comment section below. If this video added value, kindly like and share this video and subscribe to our channel. Thank you for watching.